Yeah, g'day YouTubers. Tinker O'Toole again with another video. Today I'm going to talk about what you can do if you've only got a little vise that's on your vertical slide that's on your lathe. We'll just turn this around. You may be able to see this a little bit better. This is 4 inches wide, 5 inches high. This is only a little 2-inch vise, so it's only fairly small, so it's limited in its capacity. And yeah, sure, I've got bigger vices and I've fitted them. We've actually got this one here. So this one's a little bit bigger. And I've got another one that fits. But even though you can put vices on there, you can still run into trouble. You may have some object that doesn't fit in a vise, or the vise will damage it and you need to clamp it differently. So we're going to have a look at a different method of clamping. And hopefully, especially for the beginners out there, this may be something that you may be interested in. So what we've got here is a 58-piece clamping kit with all metal holders. You've got T-nuts. So we'll go over what we've got in here and how we can apply them. So we've got 6 T-nuts. They're the T-nuts there. And they fit in, we'll just zoom back over here. They fit into the slide, the T-slots, right? So that's what they're for. So they're made quite well and they're quite thick. So that's what that does. So in most applications, the little T-nut will get you out of trouble. You get 6 of those and just get one out. So we've got these flanged nuts, a little bit more space over the flange. You've got 6 of those as well. So we've also got little joiners so that you can join the little bars together. Now you've got a whole series of these little studs, all right? So we start off by little short ones. They get bigger, bigger, till we get to something like that. Would be about 10 inches in length. And so we've got a whole series of those. Then we've got a whole series of all different clamps. This is the smallest type clamp with a hole in it. All right. Then you've got this stair step in here. So it's stepped. This one goes a little bit bigger, as you can see. And this one's even a lot larger. So that's those. Then you've got these little triangular type shape, stair stepping. So you've got that type of clamping as well. Then this gets a little bit bigger. They're in halves. And then you've got this type, which is even bigger again. Right, so yeah, you've got that type. Now, what I've just shown you on this side, all of this, is split it down the middle. It's the same on the other side. It's just that's how it's packed in this little nice handy container. So where is it that you're most likely going to use this? Well, most likely you're going to use it on something that's going to be very difficult to clamp. Now, if you actually go back and have a look at the lathe with the slidable the vise on it, it's only 4 inches wide by 5 inches high, and you've only got about 80 mil of travel. Now that can be limited to sort of small jobs, and if you want a bigger job, well, what I did make was an aluminium platen like this, so that I've got the 4 holes here that will line up in the T-slots using the countersunk bolts. Right, so they're the countersunk bolts that fit in there, just below flush. So if I bolt anything over the top, it doesn't bind up. And all these hole patterns here fit different vices. I've got 3 different vices. This is one of them. I've got a few others. Now, let's just say that you've got something complicated like this, made out of aluminium, and you don't want to damage the edges in the vise. So what you can do in that situation is you're going to have to come up, we'll just sort of hold this, you need to come up using some of these clamps that you can bolt this in such a position that where you want to use your end mill, it's not going to foul. So it's just a matter of coming up with all these different blocks and setting them up. Now, one thing that when you do use something like this, especially if it's raised, let's just say this is raised off the surface, depending on how much it's raised, that you can accommodate the height of this using this block on the other side, and with the stud you will tighten it down so this side will be level. So you need to tighten them down level, not crooked. That's the whole idea of using these. And as I said before, there's quite a series of them. You've got that size, the medium size there, so that's probably good 1 inch. And then the other size would probably be about 2 inches tall, right? Don't know what the idea of the hole is, but yeah, anyway. So that's how you can use the mounting blocks. Without the mounting blocks, you can fiddle around with little bits of steel, but this is specifically designed for all types of milling machines, drill mills, or just a normal mill, or a normal drill. But if you do have a drill mill, vertical milling machine of any type, something like this would be okay. Now, this is the smallest that they make. When I say the smallest, these are 8 millimeters. These nuts and the T-nuts are 8. They come in 10, 12 and 16. The slots that are in here is about 11.5. So that means that you'd be able to, the 10 mil would be probably exactly the same size, except the T-nuts and the nuts would be 10 millimeters. The moment you go to 12 millimeters, this is going to change. The hole in the middle will have to be at least 12 mil, and there's a 16 mil version. And even up on big machines, the sizes just go up. Now, what do you expect to pay for something like this? Well, I was lucky. I got it on eBay. It was around $100. So for $100, if I've got something that's a little bit complicated with its geometry like this, and I don't want to put it in a vise and damage the point or damage the edges, yeah, sure, you could wrap it up. You could wrap something around it. That could work as well. So, but if you don't directly put the metal on here, you could put a bit of felt on here and clamp it on top that way. You don't need a huge amount of clamping force if you're doing light cuts on an end mill. So yeah, experience is the teacher here. So yeah. Now, this is the other vise that I use as well. It's a 3-inch vise. Look, I could have made a larger backing plate to take a 4-inch or a 5-inch vise, but where do you draw the line on what you're going to do? And as you can see, there's a lot of tap threads in there for all different configurations of different vices and different attachments. So if there's a job that I'm doing and I can't have the right hole configuration for that job, it's just a matter of drill and tap so that I can make it work. So yeah, that's something there. The next thing that I'm going to get is a rotatable vise. So that's something there that works okay. Now with these vices here, I can mount them horizontal on the plate, right? Or I can mount them vertical like that with as you see, the holes do line up. And if I turn it that way, the holes will line up that way. So yeah, I've configured them that way, and that goes the same for every vise I've got, vertical and horizontal alignment. Yeah. Now, just out of curiosity, I came across this. This is actually, I'll just give them a bit of a plug because the guy was really good. This comes from Red Fox Machinery. It was $100, and Red Fox Machinery are over in Hallam, Victoria, 119 Technology Court. They've also got a website, www.redfox foxmachinery.com.au. So yeah, look, even if you just give them a Google, you'll get the information. It'll take you to the website and give you the information. They sell many other, they sell lathes, they sell all sorts of things. The quality is very good and the price is also very good. The guy there that runs it is called Gary, and the reason I'm giving a plug is because he's got an eBay store, and I went to the eBay store and I was after something, and we had about 3 or 4 emails going backwards and forwards very quickly. So I was really impressed with the help that I got from Gary, and he suggested using this kit would sort of solve a lot of my problems rather than the vices. So what I've done since then, I built this plate like this, and I'm going to get a vise that I can rotate around circular 360 degrees. So that's probably the next thing I'm going to get. And what that will do will give me total versatility rather than just a little tiny 2-inch vise. So with everything that I've got, this kit, and when I do get maybe a 5-inch vise that will fit on here, it's just the mounting. I'm looking at the mounting. So if you were to look at the vise that's on the lathe, the slidable vise, it's only 4 inches wide and 5 inches high, and it's only got 3 T-slots in it, so you're limited on the mounting configuration, whereas this is 6.5 inches high and 5 inches wide. So you really, even if you mount a vise diagonal, you've got over 7 inches diagonal. So, you know, if you have a bolt here, if you have a bolt diagonal, one here and one up here, and you've got 7 inches, you'll be able to put a larger vise on there without any problems. Look, I hope this information helps. I know the machinists out there, look, they've got all this gear, but for the average person that's a hobbyist may not be aware of it, especially the beginner. So all as I'm doing is sort of reviewing this and saying how good it is. I also believe that it's made out of very good high quality steel. It's not made out of mild steel or anything else like that. They're a little bit better quality than that. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye for now.